Friend, finish this sentence for me. I'll be happy when, and fill in the blank. Got your answer? All right. Hello, friend, and welcome back to Torches, Yoga, and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. And today, we're going to continue with the skill we started last week, mindfulness skill number 5, which is appreciative joy. But instead of looking for that joy externally, we're going to bring it a little bit more inward this week. So, when you filled in the blank, did you answer anything other than, I'm happy now? Was it, I'll be happy when I fall in love and find my person. I'll be happy when I get a promotion. I'll be happy when I can get some rest, when I can get some help, when the number on the scale goes down. Well, friend, I hate to break it to you, but that job, that person, the number on the scale is not going to bring you easy happiness. If we don't give ourselves permission to be happy now, when that number on the scale goes down, we won't be happy. Those hurtful feelings we had before will now just be replaced with a fear that the weight's going to come back. If we fall in love and find our person, yeah, we may go through a honeymoon phase, but number one, friend, it is not somebody else's responsibility to make and keep you happy. That's too much responsibility to put on someone, as it's not your job to make sure and keep somebody else's happy. But number two, really, the loneliness you felt before the relationship isn't just going to go away. It's going to be replaced by insecurities. Maybe you're insecure and you're fearful that they're going to leave just like everybody else in the past has. Maybe you're insecure and you start feeling and thinking that maybe they're cheating, or do they really love me like they say they do? If I want to run a marathon, I'm going to train months, maybe even years beforehand to run a marathon. I'm not just going to pop up one day and be like, hey, I think I'm going to hit the 5K today. And the same goes for our perspective, our outlook, and our mindset. We're not just going to wake up happy one day because something worked out. We have to practice for it. But here's the amazing part, the empowering part. Just like training for a marathon, we can train our brains to recognize joy and happiness. And science backs this up. So our brains have this process called confirmation bias, where it will filter our reality based off of what we already believe. So if we're telling ourselves, I'll be happy when, our brain starts looking for only bringing to awareness and only remembering events and experiences that reinforce the idea that we can't be happy now. But if that's true, that the waiting for when keeps us stuck, then the opposite is certainly true as well. When we practice noticing joy, we start to experience that joy. Even if it's just for 30 seconds while you're stopped at a stoplight, instead of sitting there waiting for the light to turn red, just stopping for a brief moment to really take in the world around you. When we stop waiting for the when, we start living now. And I don't mean that we have to walk around with our head in the clouds, but I mean when we are open and aware, we are receptive to all of it. Like the other day, I was driving home from work, and my street was pretty quiet at the time, so there wasn't any cars coming, but I noticed this hawk flying overhead. But he's not just flying like from point A to point B. He's like diving, swooping, barrel rolling. He's out there just having a time, just because he could just enjoy being a bird. And I got to see that, and that just, it was cute. It was uplifting. But when we're receptive, we're open to witness and appreciate these little things. Because honestly, friend, it's these little things that really count. When we get to witness them, when we get to be a part of those little things in life, those are the things that re-energize us, that help us make that final push, and that help us remember and realize that the journey itself is the destination. When we don't limit happiness to our future selves, we can start embodying it today. All right, friend, I do have 2 practices for you today where we can practice some more inward appreciative joy. If you haven't already, make sure you check out last week's video. I think there's like 3 or 5 practices that will help you sharpen your appreciative joy skill and start rewiring for joy. But today, these 2 I have for you are so powerful. And normally I save the best for last, but best for first this time in case you don't make it that far. We're going to practice with gratitude. You ever wake up in the morning and your brain's like, oh, I got to do this today. Oh, I've got to deal with so-and-so. Oh, I've got to get ready for work. Yeah, me too. When my brain starts in like that, I'm like, all right, Blanche. Side note, Have we talked about the fun little trick of naming your brain? I might need to do a short reel on that one, but I digress. When she starts in the morning, and I'm like, all right, Blanche, we haven't even hydrated yet, and you're already starting in on me. We are not doing that today. And then I turn to gratitude, and that's your practice, friend, to spend the first minute of each day in gratitude for the next week. Bonus healing points if you make this a lifelong practice as opposed to just for 1 week. But spend a moment, that first moment of your day, thinking, what am I grateful for? It doesn't have to be profound. It could be something little. Sometimes my first thought is, so excited for that coffee waiting for me in the kitchen. I'm so grateful to have it here. It's going to taste so good. Maybe we roll over and see one of our pets. And I can take a moment to be grateful to have them in my life. I can be grateful for the food I have to eat the day. If you do have like the dread creeping back in of, this is what today holds, try reframing it a little bit with, I'm grateful I get to experience today. And maybe even take it a step further with, I wonder how this will play out. So spending your first minute of the day in gratitude, that's your homework for this week. Another practice we can use to combat the I'll be happy when is just a simple reframing exercise. This can either be done in the moment when you notice you're having that thought, when you're aware of that thought of I'll be happy when coming up, or if something came up for you when I asked you to fill in the blank at the beginning of the video, and you want to set aside some time to spend with that feeling. Whatever it is for you, you're going to bring that idea to mind. And then we're going to bring in our skills number 2 and 3, compassion and curiosity. And we're going to ask ourselves, what feeling am I hoping this will give me? Do you imagine future you feels more lighthearted, more confident, more loved, accepted, rested, or complete? And then we're going to ask ourselves, how can I bring 2% of that into today? For example, if a sense of completeness, like I'll feel whole and complete when I'm married to my person, or I have a family, or I get that job, I'll feel whole and complete. Take a deep dive into that and ask further, what do I feel like this event, this accomplishment, what do I feel like it's going to give me? For example, if you're a task-oriented person and you want a sense of accomplishment, a sense of completion, and you're task-oriented, do something today that you've been meaning to check off your to-do list. Like maybe, I don't know, booking that appointment with a mindfulness coach, whatever. Or you can clean out the closet, give the dog a bath, apply for that new job that you're hoping you'll get. Whatever it is that you've been meaning to do that today so that you can check it off your to-do list and then actually celebrate having done it. Give yourself a movie night, go out to the park for a bit, to the beach, and enjoy the outside. Maybe get a snack or a drink that you like, that's a treat that you don't normally get. Whatever feels right for you. Just something to celebrate the job well done. If you like affirmations, try adding this one to your arsenal. This version of me is enough for today, and I am allowed to be happy now. If your investigation uncovers that you're looking for acceptance, ask yourself, what will I believe about myself once that happens? Will I believe that then I am finally lovable, acceptable, worthy, or even seen? And bring 2% of that into today. And maybe wear your favorite outfit that day. Something you feel comfortable in, something that makes you feel best about yourself. That way we don't have a tight waistline making us self-conscious, or tight, uncomfortable shoes hurting our feet, making us irritable. Giving ourselves these little bite-sized 2% practices helps us to embody that happiness and that feeling we're looking for today and in the now. And in doing so, we're able to find more opportunities and more ways to bring that feeling into our now. And it trains our brains to start recognizing the happiness as it's happening instead of missing it by being stuck in that confirmation bias that's only looking for the not happy. All right, my friend, those are the practices I have for you today. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss next week's video where we jump into skill number 6, inner calm. And if you're just joining us on this series, you can catch skills 1 through 4 on my page. And I also have another one for the appreciative joy, skill number 5 that we're talking about today. I have one from one from last week where I go a little bit more in depth on the science, and there's a few more practices to help you sharpen your appreciative joy skill as well. I do also want to mention, friend, that if what I prompted you with at the beginning of the video to fill in the blank of all feel happy when, if something for you came up that was really heavy, remember you do not have to carry this alone. That's what I'm here for. I can help with that. Please feel free to reach out. I can safely guide you through that deep self-investigation and help keep you on the right track so that you don't get carried away with intrusive thoughts. All right, my friend, thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.